Iran has shut down the Strait of Hormuz again because of that orange shit stain that sits in the White House. He knows nothing about diplomacy. All he knows how to do is lie to the American public. It's sad when we've got to get our news through fucking Lego videos that Iranian propaganda pushes out. Listen to Lawrence O'Donnell. This is the way every journalist should be pushing back on Trump's lies.
This is the agreement that President Obama's Secretary of State John Kerry got Iran to sign, a promise to under no circumstances ever seek, acquire, or develop any nuclear weapons. 5 other countries, China, France, Germany, Russia, the United Kingdom, joined that negotiation to convince Iran to sign this deal. Iran agreed to allow hundreds of inspectors into the country to constantly monitor their activity to be sure that Iran was never developing a nuclear weapon. And the agreement was working. There was not a shred of evidence to be found anywhere by anyone, including Israeli intelligence, that Iran in any way violated their agreement with President Obama and 5 other countries involved. And so Donald Trump should be able to get the Iranians to put in writing the same thing they put in writing 11 years ago. But no one in the news media should treat that as some kind of breakthrough, because Donald Trump, in the single stupidest diplomatic action in American history, just ripped up that towering diplomatic achievement by Secretary of State John Kerry and President Obama and the other participating countries in that negotiation, all of whom worked very hard for years to convince Iran to never develop nuclear weapons and put that promise in writing. Donald Trump just ripped it up. That agreement, that successful agreement, allowed monitors from all of those countries into Iran to study everything that Iran was doing every day and make sure Iran was not developing nuclear weapons. When Donald Trump ripped up that agreement, all of those inspectors were immediately thrown out of Iran, thrown out of the country. Now, let's see how many inspectors Donald Trump gets back into Iran, and don't be surprised if it is 0. Donald Trump, who could not successfully negotiate an agreement to buy the silence of porn star Stormy Daniels, is now trying to get Iran to agree to what it agreed to 11 years ago. And while they're at it, please reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran had never closed before during any other presidency and any other conflict. It took Donald Trump to achieve the closure of the Strait of Hormuz in Iran, and now Donald Trump will consider it a negotiating triumph if Iran simply reopens it. So Donald Trump's incompetent negotiators are negotiating tonight for the world as it existed before Donald Trump became president the first time. And that buffoon tore up that agreement in his first term and is now begging Iran to give him the deal that John Kerry so carefully negotiated on behalf of President Obama.
Every journalist should be pushing back on that tangerine twat waffles bullshit. I think Lawrence O'Donnell hit the nail on the head. You let me know what you think in the comments.